Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, Today I'm going to cover, the how-tos of fasting. I'm just going to give you guys the foundation of the different types of fasts, how to prepare yourself for a fast, how to gradually move out of a fast. I'm pretty much going to give you guys all, the mechanics of that. So today I'm not going to give too much scriptures, but I am going to pretty much really give very technical guidelines of fasting, if that makes sense. So today is day 40, and today is how to fast. In the same way that we read our word, in the same way that we pray, in the same way that we do any other Christian discipline, it is expected of us to fast as often as we do the other things. For instance, in Matthew chapter 6, there are three activities or three main, what I believe, the tenets of Christian disciplines that Jesus implied that we should be doing on a periodically basis. For instance, he says, when you pray, when you fast, and when you give. He did not leave any room for if or if you want to be honest, when you feel like it. It is expected of us to do those things on a regular basis. So again, that's in Matthew 6. You'll find that specifically Matthew 6 verse 16, he says when you fast. So again, it's expected of us to fast on a regular basis. And it's not just when our church goes on its typical annual fast. God does expect us on our own to fast every now and then. And as far as how often, I'll touch on that later. I don't want to jump ahead. But there are typically three types of fast: the absolute or the complete fast, the partial fast, and the Daniel fast. The absolute fast or the complete fast is basically no food and no water. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this type of fast, typically people do it for 3 days. And you can find this type of fast in Deuteronomy 9:9, Ezra 10:6, Esther 4:16, and Acts 9:9. You'll find in those 6 scriptures where those people practice this type of fast. And then the most common example that we know of is Moses when he was up on the mountain. He was up there for 40 days and 40 nights in the presence of God with no food and no water. The second type of the fast is the partial fast, which is abstinence from certain types of foods. This one, I would say, is probably the more flexible of the fast, and I'll cover that one later. And the third one that I believe is the better known of the fast of the three is the Daniel fast, which is the abstinence from certain foods, typically meats, sweets, and bread, for a period of 21 days. And you can find an example of this fast in Daniel 10:3, where he states that all that time I had eaten no rich food, no meat or wine crossed my lips, and I used no fragrant lotions until those 3 weeks have passed. Basically, he denied himself of all types of things that would give him any kind of pleasure, because at that time he was seeking God for an answer that he desperately needed. So the lengths of fast are generally, it varies. And I have a whole bunch, but it varies from 1 night to 1 day, 3 nights and 3 days, 7 days, 21 days, 40 days. And we won't be doing any long extended fasts in this group. So don't get scared. Don't get nervous. I'm going to be really light and easy on y'all. But for the most part, how do you decide how long to fast? That's usually between you and God. And this may be basic for some of you guys, but I'm not going to assume that everybody knows how to fast. I'm not going to assume that everybody has done a fast before. So this may be very basic for you guys. Just bear with me. That's as far as how long to fast. That's usually between you and God. But for those of you who have not fasted before, I'm gonna give you more guidelines on Friday. But typically, it's between you and God as far as how long to fast. Now, these next couple of points that I'm going to share is not specifically for this group. But when you work your way up to this level, when you feel led to do so, these are important points that you need to keep in mind. So how to prepare yourself for a long fast? Long fast as in 3 days or more. And again, it does not necessarily apply in this group, so I'm not going to have you guys fast for 3 days straight. So typically, if you're going to fast vigorously and or for a long period of time, you're going to want to prepare yourself for the fast. And this can range from 3 days with no food, or for 21 days and you're going to go strictly vegetarian or just strictly vegetables for those 21 days. Again, it depends on how strict your fast is. So it is suggested that a few days before you start a fast like that, you want to ease yourself into fasting. You don't want to wolf down everything the night before or minutes before your fast. You're going to want to ease yourself into it. They suggest, health professionals suggest, to begin eating smaller meals a few days prior to your fast. Avoid high-fat foods before and during your fast. Avoid sugary foods. Avoid added sugars before and during your fast. And for the love of God, avoid caffeinated drinks before and during your fast. Of course, and I should have said this first, if you have any sugar sensitivities or any health problems connected to your diet, please consult your doctor. Consult your doctor. Please consult your doctor before attempting any fast. And if you find where you cannot fast biblically, again, like I mentioned a few days ago, God does honor other types of fasts, social media fasts, or any other type of consecration that pretty much gets you focused on Him and you separating yourself from the world a bit. It is good to drink plenty of water, not for the purpose of filling your stomach, but while you're fasting, your body is detoxing itself. It's getting rid of all of the, quite frankly, the junk that you've been feeding it for every day. It's trying to get rid of all of that excess sugar, trying to get rid of all that excess caffeine. That's one of the main reasons why we have headaches while we fast. So it's good to drink plenty of water to aid your body into the detox process. Expect some physical discomforts because of the detox process, especially on the second and third day. That's usually when you'll start feeling like you want to kill somebody. Hunger pains, of course, are inevitable. You may feel a bit dizziness and lightheaded, but you will not pass out, but you will probably feel a little dizzy and lightheaded. As I mentioned before, headaches are probably the main complaint of fasting, because we Americans are addicted to sugar and addicted to caffeine, and we have withdrawal symptoms for some of us, if we go a day without sugar or caffeine. And that's basically why you have those headaches. Your body is starting to detox. And of course, you'll probably get weary. You probably get a little tired. You may feel a little nauseous. And the main thing, you'll probably feel sleepy a lot. I know when I fast, I get extraordinarily, I don't know how or why, but I get really drowsy. I get really sleepy. I used to feel really bad because I'm thinking I'm sleeping most of my fast. But listen to your body. Especially when you're fasting, listen to your body. Rest. Another key thing I want to point out, that if you mess up, if you fast and you just have to have that piece of chicken or you have to have that donut and you give in, don't give up on your fast. Just wipe your mouth, remove the crumbs from your lips, and just continue fasting. Don't give up. Continue on with your fast. A lot of people, when they feel weak and they give in, they think that their fast is over and they just quit and they feel defeated. Nope. Just hop back on and just continue moving forward. Don't give up. Do not quit your fast. And I see you guys coming in, and I hope I'm not missing any questions, so I'm not seeing any comments. So if there are comments or questions, I'll probably, when I get off, I'll read them, and I'll probably hop back on later on in the afternoon. So how to break your fast. So just as you ease yourself into fasting, and a note on that, you may not always have the luxury of easing yourself into a fast, because there have been times where God told me the next day fast, and I had no time to prepare my mind or my body. You may not have that luxury to ease yourself into fasting. However, you definitely need to ease yourself out of fasting. That is not optional. You will be, let's just say you'll be in the bathroom for some time if you rush out of fasting. So do not rush to the nearest buffet after your fast. Ease yourself out of fasting. Activate the fruit of the Spirit, practice self-control, and take your time. Your food will be there when your body is ready to eat. So you want to break your fast on a meal that is light and easy to digest. Some examples are melons, especially watermelon, since it's very, very easy to chew, very easy to digest. Soups, applesauce, for the most part, nothing too rough on your stomach. If you're coming off a fast that is no food and you haven't been eating for at least 3 days, you may want to go strictly plant-based for a while. And during an extended fast, again, 3 days or more, for the most part, your digestive organs, they've been resting for that time, and your stomach has shrunken. So you don't want to overeat. Again, as you work your way into a fast, you want to work your way out of a fast. It's all about pacing yourself and self-control. And that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to lay the how-tos of fasting, the guidelines of fasting. Again, if you guys have any questions about fasting, you can inbox me or place them in the comments, and I'll address them, I guess, when I get off, or I'll hop back on real quick. So I think I still have some time, because right now I can't see any comments. But yeah, again, I just want to stress, we are not going to do a fast longer than maybe a couple of hours, or maybe even a day for some of us in this group. We're going to start right where we are. So most of the stuff that I just said, it applies for those later on when you feel comfortable, or for those of us that are already, doing incorporating a fasting lifestyle, and for those of us who want to go a little bit further. So again, for the purposes of this group, most of the stuff that I just said does not apply to us yet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log off, see if I have any questions, and if not, I'm going to go to work. But again, if you guys have any questions on fasting, which I know that there are, especially for those of you who have not done before, do not hesitate to contact me, and I'll address them later on. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yes. And I will talk about our attitudes and heart posture of fasting. Friday, I'm going to give us guidelines on our fast. Again, I promise you it'll be very simple. And Saturday, I don't know yet. So you guys have a blessed Wednesday. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m.